Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing well and staying safe. I don't know about you, but me personally, I'm starting to get a little bored spending all this time inside. I miss being on the Storyville, I miss seeing everyone, and I miss learning together. All of us at RIF are thinking of ways to keep that learning going while remaining safe in our homes. This led us to creating a brand new web show where we will learn about something new each time. Each episode will talk about a different topic. My RIF friends and I will have videos and interviews that will help us learn about cool new things. So here is our first episode of The RIF Show. Hope you enjoy.
It's the RIF Show. Brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Pittsburgh.
All right, so hello everyone. For our first episode today, we're going to be talking about trees. And for this, I have two of my good friends, Miss Claire and Miss Sam, with me, who are going to help me explore all of the cool things about trees. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Doing good, CJ. How are you?
Good. So this idea came to us from actually one of our teachers that we see on the Story of Bill. Her name is Miss Dixon. She's a kindergarten teacher at Lincoln Elementary. And she told me that after they left off their learning, they were talking about trees and more particularly how they help us survive and stay alive. So I thought that we could talk about some of the many ways that trees help us every day of our lives. So what I wanted to talk about were some of the ways the trees help us breathe, give us food, all sorts of stuff. So let's take a look at that. We see so many trees around us all the time that we might not think about them very much. However, they are so important for us to remain alive and healthy. They do so many things for us that it would be impossible to count them all. The most important things are that they help us breathe, give us food, provide shelter, and protect and clean our planet. So let's go through some of the reasons we owe trees a big thank you. Trees are living things just like us. Living things need these things in order to survive. They need air, water, space, sunlight, and food. Trees are no different. Now you might be wondering, how do trees eat food? What kind of food do trees eat? Trees actually make their own food. They take in water from their roots in the ground. Then, using their trunk and branches, they transport that water to the rest of the tree. They take in energy from the sunlight absorbed in their leaves. Besides sunlight and water, they are missing one key ingredient to make their food. And that is actually something that we give them. The biggest reason we should thank trees is for the air they give us to breathe. Trees produce a gas called oxygen that keeps our lungs and our blood pumping. The coolest part is that while trees help us, they also help themselves. When trees give off oxygen, they are actually eating. The air we breathe out of our body is another gas called carbon dioxide, and trees use carbon dioxide as the last part in their meal-making process. Using the energy they gain from the sunlight, they combine water and carbon dioxide to make a sugar that feeds the entire tree. When the tree is feeling full, whatever energy they have left, they give back to the earth as oxygen for us to breathe. For helping them get carbon dioxide to make their food, trees thank us by gifting us food that we can eat. Trees provide us food from their leaves like fruit and nuts. If you look outside and see the trees growing leaves and changing pretty colors, that means they are getting ready to make their fruit. Some trees even give us food from their trunks. Maple trees keep something delicious stored away in their trunks. Syrup! Trees are also great protectors of our earth. By taking the carbon dioxide we breathe out, they keep our air clean. Not only do they keep our air clean, but they also protect our ground by absorbing the water and preventing floods. They give us so much more too. They give some animals a place to live. Animals like birds, monkeys, sloths, snakes, bugs, and many others find their home either inside or on top of trees. So that shows you just some of the many things that trees do for us. And my two friends with me are going to talk about some of the other things that trees do for our lives. So Miss Sam, let's start with you. You have a really cool way that trees help us that I didn't really think about before we did this.
Yeah, so for mine, I wanted to look at how trees help us in really hands-on ways.
Besides the really important jobs of giving us the air that we breathe and giving homes to birds and fuzzy animals, trees are also really valuable in our day-to-day lives in more physical ways. For example, look around your house right now. How many pieces of furniture are made out of wood? What's your table made out of? Maybe the bottom of your sofa is made out of wood, or your closet doors and cabinets. Are they made out of wood? All of these pieces in your house came from trees. Look around and count how many things in your house are made out of wood. 5, 7, 10, 30? Whatever that wooden piece of furniture is, a chair or a cabinet, it started out as a great big tree, and someone turned it into a piece of furniture. And now it has a new life with you. Your house might even be made of wood. Lots of houses used to be made of wood. Just think about log cabins. Another way that people use wood is for heat. Back before electricity, everyone used to heat their homes in winter using wood in things like fireplaces or wood stoves, which were everywhere because everyone needed them to keep warm. I went out to try and learn how to chop some firewood. Turns out it's a little harder than I thought it would be, so I had to bring in some help. People also use wood from trees to cook over top of. Now you don't really see that unless you go camping. Make some nice big s'mores. Even that book you might be reading comes from trees. The paper in it is made from trees. So, next time you're sitting down, reading a book, feeling cozy, breathing in that fresh air, just remember, all of that is possible because we have trees. Thanks, trees.
Thank you, Miss Sam, for that. Now, I want to know, how hard is it to chop wood? What's the hardest part? And just tell the kids like the process of chopping wood, because it sounds really fun, but maybe a little hard.
Well, let me tell you, it was definitely trickier than I thought it would be. So first, you have to go and find a tree that fell down in the woods, and then you get chainsaws to make it into tiny little pieces, and then you take those pieces, and you have to lift up a big axe and swing it down on the wood. But the axe is a lot heavier than I thought it would be. Getting it over my head seemed impossible. And then once I started swinging it, I missed the wood a few times, didn't chop it. And then the few times I hit the wood, it just bounced right off.
Yeah, so it sounds like it would be a lot of fun and a little hard, and definitely something that you kids should not be doing until you're an adult. Some things are saved best for when you grow up. So Miss Claire, you got to actually interview one of your friends who works with trees, and I think she's going to talk about how they're a good way for us to get outside and enjoy ourselves.
That's right, Mr. CJ. I had a friend that works for the United States Forest Service, and her job is to work with trees all the time, and they call her a ranger. And she's going to talk to us a little bit how trees can actually provide recreational benefits as well. And recreation just means like to have fun, so trees can be used to have fun too.
Hi, my name is Madison, and I'm a former ranger with the Forest Service. We take care of forests all across the country, from California all the way to Maine. There's even forests in Pennsylvania. The closest one to you is probably the Allegheny National Forest. But you don't have to go that far to see trees. You can find them in state parks, in city parks, and even in your own backyard. There are two main types of trees, those that lose their leaves in the winter and those that don't. I'm surrounded right now by trees that all lost their leaves. We call these deciduous trees. They may seem barren now, but it's spring. Their leaves will be back soon. The other type of trees that you'll see are trees that don't lose their leaves. We call these evergreen trees. A very popular example of this is probably a Christmas tree, which you may have seen. We call leaves on evergreen trees needles. When you get outside and take a walk, you're sure to see lots of trees in Pittsburgh. One common type of tree that you might see is an oak tree. Oak trees are easily identifiable by their long, broad leaves with multiple lobes that go up and down them. These ones are pointy, but not all of them are. You also might recognize them by the nuts they drop. This you might recognize too. It's an acorn, and they're both signs that you're looking at an oak tree. So next time you get outside and take a walk, make sure to look around and see the trees that are around you. Ask some questions, discover something new, and most of all, have fun. Bye.
All right. Thank you, Miss Claire, for that. And thanks to your friend for helping us out. So, Claire, I wanted to talk a little bit about ways that you are using trees recreationally at this time. In what ways are you hanging out with trees?
Thanks for the great question, Mr. CJ. Well, I love to go to the city parks and sometimes even the state parks when I get the chance to, because I love to go on hikes or just long walks. And sometimes when you're just surrounded by trees, a bunch of the stresses that you have just melt away. And that's actually really nice sometimes when you can get out of the city environment and be surrounded by trees. But other than hiking, you could actually do a lot of things in forests or just around the trails in the city. Miss Sam does a thing called mountain biking, which is you get a really big bike and you go down these really big hills all around trees. You want to talk more about that, Miss Sam?
Sure. Yeah, so it's a lot like hiking trails, except for you take your bike on them. And I don't know, it's really fun. You can go really fast. Things can go really right or really wrong. And yeah, it's a really nice way to let off some steam. Some people go on runs. Some people like to bike around the streets. I just go to the trees to do that.
Very cool. So I hope that you all out there are also taking the chance to be safe and get outside a little bit. And while you're out there, say hello to some trees for us. So that is our first episode. Thank you again to Miss Sam and Miss Claire for helping out. And next time we'll see what we're going to learn about that time. All right. See you, everybody. See you guys.
Bye.
Now you've learned about trees and such, and we gotta say thank you very much. All the tall trees, short trees, trees with leaves give us food, shelter, and oxygen. Thank you, trees. They're friends for you and me. Thank you, trees. Thank you, trees. Thank you, trees.